Alrighty then, good evening everyone, Original Biggie 1 at it again. This is week 11, episode 17, season number 3 in the Battle of Florida. Hope everybody's doing well, hope everybody's doing good. Before we get things started, make sure that you check out the links below to check out Senjeko 3 and Skeletron 1-on-1. So, we had Senjeko playing his game. Won 49-28 over the Ravens, and Skeletron completed his game earlier today, 60-13. All that's left is me facing the Texans. Again, it seems like every week I am facing the Texans, but that's besides the point. Must be a Houston thing, maybe the thing under the bridge too. And God facing the Patriots. We look at the standings. I'm leading the AFC South 9-0, Senjeko 9-1, the Texans 4-5, and the Titans 2-7. Fell off a cliff. So when we go to the transactions, made a few. I see Skeletron making some moves as well. But again, we moved Tre'Davious White back to right outside linebacker. And we move Douglas Wilkerson to cornerback. Senjeko making some power moves as well. Dolphins sign receiver Philly Brown. That's great. Until week 14. Then everybody's going to be going. Alright, so let's get things started with the Texans. And before we get things started again, let's look at the stats. That's my mistake. Again, we have Frank Barlow going over the 2,000 yard mark, passing. Again, really accurate at 84%. Deshaun Watson, I'm still not sure if he will be back up. I'm not sure about Teddy as well, but we will see. Dealing with rushing. Jordan Gibson is on his way to 2,000 yards rushing. And I mean, compared to the NFL, it's not even close between everybody else. Yes, I know Christian McCaffrey has reached the 1,000 yard mark. But again, my strategy again is ground and pound, giggity. And also to blitz the hell out of the quarterback. So let's get things going.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The second meeting of the year on tap here between these two fierce AFC rivals. These teams know each other very well.
Why is Scott in the
only
lead?
serves to stoke the flames of what is always a heated battle. It's the Wizards going up against the Texans.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Orlando Wizards and the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive.
Who's that, Heyman?
And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller. They'll come out throwing here on first down. This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Yeah, probably have to put a spotlight on that man.
Pickup.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Yeah, he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. For the Texans of Houston, the offensive starters, Charles, you want to talk about a guy out wide, don't you?
I certainly do. Will Fuller out of Notre Dame. This guy can absolutely fly. And you would think that their quarterback, Brock Osweiler, would have been the happiest when he got drafted. It was actually DeAndre Hopkins, the other receiver. He thinks he'll cut down the double teams that he'll see and open up some more space.
Let's go!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Can't get away, and he's taken down. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
So a big sack on 2nd down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for 3rd. Now back to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
All right, who's hurt? Good job, Gruder. Probably an offensive lineman.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23.
Come on, give it to Hole again!
There he goes, left side. Touchdown! They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense like, look, you don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
Point after here coming up. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And their second attempt here, the first drive, stalled and they punted.
Time to break some things out, I think, in the playbook. Now that they've gotten out there, gotten settled a little bit, let's see if they open things up. Maybe try and get the ball in the hands of the guys who can get the ball into the end zone. They're playmakers.
They would like that. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Oh, that's his third sack?
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back
Really?
there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Second down, here's Miller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He digs him partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum, and they force them into a likely punting situation.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good.
Give it back to him. Give it back to Hogan. Ah.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
That's it? Just 6'4"? Okay. You sure you kind of want to do that?
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football.
And best animation one.
Then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
And now out comes Houston. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off the game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling?
Touchdown, Houston. C.J. Fedorowicz with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try and at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 32-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. He's a reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and defensively they have to find an answer for him.
And that's what you would do if you were calling plays, right? You'd make sure that he gets targeted. But the thing about it is the route running. That's what makes him so dangerous is because...
And he'll take it into the end zone.
Way to go,
for a
Patrick.
touchdown. It's the fullback, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. And I want to give the big guys some credit because he deserves it, but where was the defense there? Because he's not a burner.
I think they fooled him big time by handing him the football. It's not
okay, so
for him to
let me
touch
get
it
this
very often
straight.
on a running play. I think the defense was just ill-prepared for that eventuality.
A guy with the 96 speed is slow. .96 speed, 85 agility, and 90 acceleration. Yeah, he's totally slow.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view.
Under pressure, and down he goes. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Well, they've gone backwards so far in this series. 3rd and 13.
Here we go.
They'll set up a throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Houston. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 30. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Man, those numbers from last week. What do you call a game like that? Monumental? A career game?
Yeah, every one of those adjectives you can pull up. Monumental, mammoth, massive. But you also know that he wants another one just like it in this game. He doesn't plan on slowing down.
Man, if he duplicates that, that would be history. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Gun. They'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They'll drop the throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 14-7 is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Open space inside the 10. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Of course, he's fresh off the Offensive Player of the Week in the AFC, and what a game it was last week, and a long touchdown run right there.
He and his offensive line, the receivers blocking downfield, they're all in sync right now. Could carry him to a 2nd straight Player of the Week award.
Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
What the hell?
Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That good for 22 and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case. No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
All right, so who was guarding Fuller?
Leave in man coverage with this guy, and
that's what I wanted.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Good hit.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them pass.
And Miller's clapped it.
They dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know.
Fire him. Already. Get rid of him.
In the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup.
You talk about run after the catch. This. Okay.
Here we go!
Now a handoff here to his running back. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here we go! Brand 38!
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Price. And he's going to be run over. Hit hard as he'll be marked down at the 33.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a gain of 5 on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. And he'll be knocked down sideways at the 21-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Back to throw here. And this is incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle, because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop that. Just drop the pass. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. They'll look to throw. And he will take this one in for a touchdown.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Let's bring in Harrington.
Now for the point after. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
I'll take that.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. He'll look to throw. In trouble, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Texans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's going the other way. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. It's their quarterback with his second touchdown here in this first half. And this offense continues to pour it on. And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a
Look at the
big
punter.
hit at the end of that one. He's knocked down hard, right at the line of scrimmage. And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. Well, sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
Yeah, I think you're right, partner. His throw incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And it's third down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Oh, damn it.
His target, Fuller. 30. 10. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his second touchdown on the season.
Oh, hard. You gotta come back and pick that off, man. Just ignoring the clipping. But, whatever.
And the Texans are in for 6. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And that'll cut the lead down to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now here's a carry heading left. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. They'll set up to throw. He's got Sanu. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball.
Found it, Hornet 35. Yo.
And that on display there for
1-1v1 me and Mud Traps. Are you talking about Madden 18 or Madden 20?
Running backs and not catching backs.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. drop to throw here.
Oh, come on, Sanu.
Right there, a nice hit, jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And this offense on third
Not
down
really a
today,
fan of
they've
Mutt
been
in the
good
first
3 for
place,
4
sir.
thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw.
That was my fault again. Damn it!
Accepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. The 30. Past the 20. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field.
Oh, found it, Hornet. Are you going to play your punter as a quarterback?
Just to the wrong team.
Huh?
And it cost him 6 points.
Around the NFL, we've got a second quarter score. And the Bucs are out to an early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go. Brand 38.
I mean, isn't that how Mutt works?
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Come on, let's go. 1, 9.
Looking to throw.
Good deflection, by the way.
Tips kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move.
That was a juke, but nonetheless.
First half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he is knocked down from the side. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it.
Oh, Gibson.
So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now they'll run it on the toss. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
And he will take it in for the touchdown. It's the fullback, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to it.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now a look at Will Fuller as he and the rest of the offense gears up to get ready to go again. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him.
And got his man complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it.
Sure, let's not split. Let's not spread out my linebackers. Let's not do that. I mean, why would you do that?
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
A first down carry now for Miller. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And this one is right through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, I guess we're at the stage here where they wouldn't say no to any points, but I don't think field goals are what they're looking for here in the second half.
I don't either, Brandon. When you're down as much as they are, that's a sign of a head coach waving the white flag to me.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards. Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Now a handoff looking right. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Again, good job, Patrick.
It's the fullback with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And this offense is running away with
You know what my 96 slow
There's no
happened
doubt in
is.
my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Wait,
Now, this one was over a while
She's
ago
a
as they
full
just
bore?
add on to their big lead.
did I hear that right?
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Supreme Dude 3035 said Alpha Kenny 1.
Let's just face it. This offensive line.
Okay,
flat out
I'm
cannot
original
handle this pass
BD1.
rush. It's been demonstrated
Nice to
time
meet
and
you,
time
sir.
again.
Let's go. What? 9.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And now following
I
the
hope you
incomplete
are
pass,
enjoying
we'll
the
get a
stream.
timeout here
Supreme
for an
Dude
injured player.
3035.
Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Again, hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe, being safe, washing hands and washing asses. It's just a Texans receiver. He doesn't matter.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 17.
Let's go. What? 9.
Good deflection by Hart.
Incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Returnable here from the 38. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because
Gibson.
in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone.
Let's go. Ohio.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he
Oh,
is
that's not a
knocked
touchdown?
Flat on his back. Oh, a big hit at the 1-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other target.
And he's into the end zone.
That's
for
a
the
penalty, you
receiving
know.
Touchdown. It's the fullback with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Watch left. Tight end to the left. Here we go, Ohio.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I was trying to be nice.
That's good for a Texan first.
Trying to be conservative. No, all right.
Partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Laquan Treadwell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are able to make things a bit more respectable.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Time for a break. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back at the 29. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years?
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now. But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered,
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Texans on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. It's caught by Treadwell. He's at the 30, the 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
no one.
Treadwell, let me see his stats real quick. So you're getting burnt by somebody who has 87 speed, 87 agility, 88 acceleration. Catching 85, that's good. Beat press 75. Yeah, oh well.
You're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Now the try here for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
Wait, we stopped on that play. We had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Now it's 2nd and 7.
Here we go.
On the give, this is their fullback. Finds a seam inside the 40. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And the kick is good.
Alrighty
so
then.
you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's
alright, decent game. Heyman looking like a superstar at the end. You know, which is fine, I guess. Only one injury in the body count, but you know, Patrick came back, he played a good game, so that's good to know. Alright, let's go into scouting. And we are going to take a look at the remaining strong safeties. So, a very small class for the safeties, both the free and the strong safeties. If anything, I will probably complete the safeties by maybe week 15? Maybe? Promise? Aaron Briggs. Maybe. Oscar Garcia. Maybe. Joey Sternstorm. Or Sternstrom. What about Gregory Gibson? Maybe. Francis Dial. I think he may be a bit. We will see. We will see. Alright. Leonard Harmon. Yeah, I think that safety class is probably deep. Again, we will see. Because again, outside of Khalil McKinley, we do have some decent talent in Gibson and Dial. Jermichael Tucker. And that's where we will stop. We'll finish Tucker next week. And if anything, we'll probably finish the strong safeties next week. Because we average about what? 200 points. So this is 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. Yeah, we can finish the strong safeties next week. And head into the free safeties. So if anything, we might take a look at maybe a linebacker. But again, also want to check out Fisher Evans as well, so. Alrighty then. Well, I will call it a day right there. I will be back with NCAA 2009 for the PlayStation 2. Hopefully we can finish the Penn State game. Again, still upset about that North Carolina loss and the way we lost. It was horrible. Something like this should never happen to any team. But you get a joy that it happened to mine. So, take care everyone. I will see y'all later. Have a good evening. Wash your hands. Wash your ass. Obi-Wan. Out.